So we're going to make a coffee sleeve to fit a standard disposable coffee cup or plastic cup that is made to be like a disposable coffee cup. I'm just using some random spare yarn. It's no particular colors. This will go over some of the stitches that you've been learning and kind of just stretch your abilities and practice some of the stitches. So we're going to start off with an H-hook. And I'm going to start with my slip knot. And chain 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Now this is your gauge. Doesn't matter. So if you happen to be using a different cup, that's fine. You want to connect it to your first chain. With a slip stitch. So just pull it through. And then one chain just to kind of hold it. And then I'll pull it so you've got some slack. This is where you can check your gauge. See if it fits. It's hard when there's only one chain. There we go. Let's do it upside down. That should fit your cup. If you need to go up a size or add another chain, that's fine. If it's too loose, you can take down the chain. It's up to you. Let me fix this real quick. Oops, wrong end. So after you check your gauge, and keep it in rows because I got it in a knot. Slip stitch. I'm having trouble focusing. Chain 1, and then we're gonna single crochet every single one. So if your gauge is 28 chains, then you can have 28 single crochets. It's a little weird. It's kind of got little fuzzies to it. Pulling some slack. This is just to get your practice in for the stitches you've been learning. Single crochets, not necessarily the most fun stitch. And personally, I hate having to crochet into any sort of chain. It is my slowest process. I have seen people do it super fast. I am not one of those. For me, I am slow. You're fast? Great. You might be beating me at this point. That's okay. Everyone does things at their own speed. In fact, since I am kind of slow, I'm going to go ahead and pause this and finish up. You can pause it too and catch up. Okay, so we got to the end. Now, you may have twisted your chain. That's okay. Just make sure when you go to connect that you untwist it, or that your single crochets part is not twisted. Mine happened to not be twisted this time. Sometimes mine is, sometimes it's not. Alright, now we're going to go into a different row, and I'm going to switch colors. You can switch colors, you cannot switch colors. That's your choice. I'm going to switch to pink. I'm going to snip off my white. In my pink, I'm going to do half double crochets. I'm going to do that over the tails of my white for a couple stitches to help lock them in place. That way it helps when I go to weave in my tails later. Give myself some slack. And since this is just to practice all the stitches we learned, oops, I was using my tail. And sometimes that happens. Picked up the wrong stitch or the wrong thread. There we go. So remember, half double crochet, we pick up our yarn, go through our work, grab more yarn, so we have 3 on our hook, and go through 3 loops. Pick up our yarn, go through our work, pick up our yarn, 3 loops, go through all 3 loops. And you can do this all the way around. If you have 28 chains, you'll have 28 half double crochets all the way around. If your work's getting a little wonky, you can kind of work it out. If it bothers you, the more stitches you have, it'll start working itself out. Pick up yarn, go through your work. Pick up yarn, go through 3 loops. All the way around. Alright, I'm going to pause it. You can pause it too. And I'll meet you at the other end. Alright, I got to the end of my row. I'm going to slip stitch because I'm going to be switching. Oops. I'm going to be switching colors again. Going to purple. Cut my pink and slip stitch my purple in. Chain 1. And this row is going to be double crochet, so it's actually chain 2. Adjust the camera a little better. There we go. And I'm going to do it over my tails. A couple times, and then I like to flick my tails to the back. And you're going to do it all the way around. Now you don't have to switch colors each time. The first one I did to design this pattern, you saw at the beginning of this video, was a single color. I'm just doing each line or each segment in a different color just to get a different perspectives. Remember, double crochets, you grab your yarn, go into your work. Grab your yarn, you have 3 loops, you're only going to go through 2 at a time. 1, 2, grab more yarn, 1, 2. Grab fresh yarn, go into our work, grab fresh yarn, 3 on our loop, going through 2, 1, 2, going through 2, fresh yarn again, 1, 2. And we're going to do that all the way around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause here, and I'll see you at the end of this row. Alright, I'm back to into my row. I'm going to go ahead and cut my purple, so I'm going to switch back to my white. Actually, I need to get some of my white pulled out. There we go. I'm going to do single crochets in this row. So chain 1. I like to go over my tails. Helps with weaving the tails in later. And I'm a single crochet all the way around. Oops. Move my tails out of the way. And single crochet is just going into the work, pulling up my yarn. So I have 2 loops, pulling out first yarn, going through to my 2 loops. And you can really get going on this one, except for I get too much into my head and I make mistakes. But nobody's perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. Go back and fix them. Get help with and have someone help you fix them. It's all okay. That's why we're here, to learn things and make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. We'll make less mistakes eventually, but we still make mistakes sometimes, and that's okay. So I'll keep going around. I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, so I'm at the end. I'm going to be switching colors again, but this time I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to show you how you can carry your colors, because my next row is going to be reusing the white after this. So I'm going to switch to my light pink. Leave my white there. Chain 1 to get myself, actually not going to chain 1. This is going to be a slip stitch, so I'm not going to be able to go over my ends like normal. But you kind of just let this stuff float in the back, which gets me a little tangled here, so let's move around. I'm going to slip stitch all the way around. So slip stitch just goes into your work, pull out, pull through the loop on your hook. Into your work, pull out, pull through the loop on your hook. Into your work, pull out through the loop on your hook. So it actually, instead of your work going up on top of your V's, you're going on the side. So your V's will be on the side of your work. I'm just going to go all the way around. This is a slip stitch. Into your work, pull through. You're just going to keep pulling it through. Now when you do this, sometimes you tighten your work down. So you gotta be careful. Oops. Because if you tighten it, then you're not going to be able to get on your cut. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Into your work, pull it through, pull it through. Alright, I'll meet you at the end of the row. Alright, got to the end of the row. Gonna cut my pink because I'm done with my pink. Now, the white, which is easier to pull because it has so many color changes. And I could have left and worked my colors up because I'm going to be going back to these colors, and you just kind of cover, you can let them be loose, like the purple would just come up like this over it, or you can stitch over each one so it kind of tucks it in. And I'll show a different video on a different project where how you can work in your, keep the colors running. Alright, so we're going to go into single crochet now. It does look a little wonky. Alright, so we got pull through, which gives us our first chain. And now we're going to go into the V's of our original white. And we can go over our tails, not through our pinks. You can go all the way around. Through our work, pull through 2 loops, pull fresh yarn through our 2 loops. Alright, so I went over our tails a little bit. I'm going to move them out of our way. So it definitely makes things more difficult. So the pink is in our front. That's a little blurry. That's a little hard to tell. Okay, so pink with our slip stitches in our front. We're going to go in under our V's, which are white. You may have used the same color, and that's okay. It's a little harder to see when you use the same color. Pull our work under our V's. We have 2. Pull fresh yarn, and then your single crochet. You're going to do that all the way around. Go into our work, which is under our V's. Pull our yarn through, get fresh yarn, pull through our 2 loops. And single crochet all the way around. Yeah, it's a little clearer now. Good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause this, and then I'll see you at the end of the row. Okay, we're back to the end of our row. So I'm going to slip stitch into my first. And so here, had I not cut my purple, because I'm going to go back to my purple, I could just pick it up and go in. Or if I was keeping with my yellow, or my white, and I wanted to run my purple along, I could go like this and keep going and see how it holds my purple there. So that's one way to run with your colors. That way you've got less tails when you don't need to see both sides. Since this is a coffee sleeve, you never see the inside, which would give me less tails. But it's been a little while since I've done a coffee sleeve, let alone one with so much color changes, so I've kind of forgot about that. And that's okay. Alright, so I'm going to go back to my purples and do double crochets again. So I'll bring my purple in, chain 2, 1, 2, double crochet over my tails. Helps with weaving them in later. I usually do 3, 4-ish, depends. Depends on what I feel like that day. And I let them get out of my way. Oops, I forgot to cut the white. There we go. Alright, remember, double crochet. You grab your yarn around your hook. You go into your work. Grab yarn around your hook, pull through. You have 3 loops. Grab yarn around your hook, pull through 2 loops. Grab yarn around your hook, pull through again. You double crochet all the way around. Yarn around your hooks, through your loop, through your work. Yarn around your hook, through 2 loops. Yarn around your hook, through 2 loops. And this is just to practice the stitches you've been working on. Kind of gives you a chance to use all the different stitches in one project. With a small project, so you don't get too overwhelmed as well. And if you don't drink coffee, you don't know anyone who drinks any hot drinks or any drinks, cups that this will fit, for whatever reason, you can make a bracelet or a band to put your markers in, or water bottle, or I don't know, get creative, turn it into like a hair tie-ish thing. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and finish the row, and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, I'm back around to the end, and cut this so I can get the yarn on my way. going back to my pink, my darker pink. I actually intended to do the pinks in different spots so that way my slip stitch pink stands out, but I wasn't paying attention when I did it. And that's okay, like I said, everyone makes mistakes and that's okay. It happens. Alright, so pull it through, and this row is going to be half double just like our previous pink row. So chain one, wrap around, go into your work. I'm going over my tails, pull through my work, I free my hook, wrap around, go through all 3 loops. Wrap around my hook, go into my work, wrap around my hook, through my work, 3 loops, wrap around, 3, go through loops. Alright, now I move my, oops, gotta redo that stitch, I dropped it. A little makeshift backwards, driving me nuts. Alright, let's move those tails out of the way. Okay, wrap around the hook, into my work, wrap around my hook, pull through my work. 3 hooks, or 3 loops, wrap around my work, my hook, pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double. Wrap around my hook, into my work. Remember, you're going under the V's, wrap around my hook, through my work, 3 loops, wrap around my work, hook, through my loops. I'm a little tongue-tied tonight. And half doubles all the way around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause here and I'll see you at the end. Alright, I'm at the end. Go into my loop and my last row. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my pink. The last row is going to be white. Got a lot of ends that we're even. Especially since these were scrap yarn and my pink had a cut in it, so I have the extra one because of that. Alright, this row is single crochet. And typically when you make any of these drink sleeves, you want them roughly the widths of 4 fingers. You can make them bigger. Typically don't make them smaller, but you can. You are able to make them however you want. If you make them for yourself. If you make them for others, you gotta take into consideration how they would typically use it. Oh, too many tails in my way. So end of the work, pull through 2 loops. End of the work, wrap around, pull through. Now you have 2 loops, wrap around, pull through. Single crochet all the way around. I'm going to pause here and I'll meet you at the end. Alright, I'm at the end. I'm going to go ahead and do my last slip stitch in full. Cut my yarn. Pull it all the way through. So this is the end. If I switch the pinks, this will look a lot nicer. The slip stitch in the middle will stand out. I'm going to weave in the ends and I'll show you my finished product. So here is the final product. Let's see if it shows up better without the flash. There you go. A little bit better. So yes. Keep your hands. Makes your cup pretty too. 2 different colors. And practice your stitch work.